How would you define English identity? Tory leadership candidate Robert Jenrick got asked that question on Sky News the other day and he just simply couldn't answer.
What is English identity?
Well, just as every nation has its own distinct history and culture, so does ours in England.
What is it?
Just as we would know what...
And that's funny because Jenrick had written an article that was on the front page of the Daily Mail the day before, arguing that English identity is under threat from immigration. If I was a politician and I'd just made that argument, I would be ready with an answer to what I reckon English identity is. And it's not even a difficult question, like for me, right? If I'm asked about English identity, what do I think of? Beautiful old little village pubs. I think about football. We invented it. It's the best game in the world by a million miles, and we invented it. Fish and chips by the seaside, and I think of curry and chips and gravy, strawberries and cream, and the debate about which way round to do your scones. And I think we're funny, you know? I think we're funny in a sort of idiosyncratic, sarcastic, self-deprecating way that I really enjoy. And I think English people are quite down to earth as well, like quite grounded. And obviously these are all just generalizations, and obviously that's because the question is quite silly and it requires you to generalize massively. But for a politician, I mean, any of those would have done, like any of those would have been good for Jenrick. But he couldn't say anything like that. And where's that? Anything I just listed is quite obviously manifestly not under threat from immigration, is it? It isn't racist to talk about or even to love English culture and identity, but that's not what Jenrick's doing. Jenrick's just blowing a big fat racist dog whistle.